Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat. As promised, before I do the color combo, I'm going to show you guys the Spill and Tea Digi, oh my gosh, journal. Wow. Okay, so you guys did pretty much all this with me because I didn't do a whole lot on my own. This is Tim Holtz paper, and I left it like it was because I just like this paper, but you know, that can always be changed. And then we just have a collage here on the front. That's our pocket. And then, oh, over here. And I didn't do a thumb notch on this little envelope because I didn't like where the thumb notch would be. So this is the only pocket that doesn't have a thumb notch, but it's just that very first pocket. Because if you punch it here, you're going to punch the hinge, right? And if I punch it here, it's on the front. So I just decided I wasn't going to do that. So anyways, I think I did do this without you guys, but it's just a tag. And that slips in there. Maybe, if it'll go right. It likes to be either all the way opened or all the way closed for that to go in there for some reason. Well, and now I can't get it, so I'll have to figure out why it's sticking. Anyways, and then open it to here, and this is a little flap that flips up, and I just cut the corner off so that you can easily flip it up. And then there's a pocket there, and then just a little spot to write on. And then this flips out, as we know, and that is another little tag that I just added some lace. So that I just put a thin piece of lace because obviously it folds into the fold of the pocket, and I didn't want it to be something bulky because then it wouldn't have closed very well. And little writing spot here, and I added a little piece of the faux old tape. And then we have an old vintage envelope here from 1954, and this is just this is from my purple digital download, but it's like an old postcard, smaller size obviously. And then a collage on the front of that flips up. You can write here, you can write here, and then that closes. And then over here, this one opens, and there's another tag inside of here. I did put, oh my gosh, so hard to get it all, a thumb notch here, so you can tell a little bit easier that that's a pocket. That's the one we did together yesterday, I believe it was. So that goes right in there. And then you can write here. There's this little pocket with itty bitty little tags that are really just cute more than anything because I like stuff like that. But you can write here, you can write here, and then this closes. And this is another vintage envelope from 1957. And in it, I've got a couple tags that we worked on yesterday, and I just added these tea bag strings to them. I just thought that was kind of cute. They almost look like little tea bags. So we did those together. And those go in there. And then this flips up, and it's just the old envelope, but you can easily write there. You can write here. And then when you go to the back, it's my tea-dyed paper that we did together. And I did sign it up there, and I will work on figuring out what in the world is this catching on because I cannot see down in there. You little stinker. I don't know why sometimes they just gotta stick, but they do. So I'll have to figure that out. But I'm going to give it away. So I will figure out that problem and get it in there, but we're going to do a surprise giveaway. So I have picked not the last video on this because at the time I'm doing this, we would have to, I just want everybody that was going to comment on it to already have their comment in, is what I'm saying. So it says I have 29 unique comments, and I got rid of any like duplicates or anything like that. So I need to move it up, and I'm not always really great with my Mac because I usually use my iPad the most. So there it goes. Oh yay, Celeste. So this is going to go to Celeste. Very nice. So I like to do these surprise giveaways because I feel like I get a better idea, or a better, it's people that always comment is what it is. And so I like to do it as a surprise rather than telling you guys, hey, I'm going to do a giveaway, comment on this video. I just feel like the people that watch me every day and comment every day, they're the ones that, you know, should get the prize, right? Or the thing that I give away. It just feels like that's the right thing to do to me. So that's why I do it that way. So make sure you comment. That's all I can say about that. So Celeste, contact me with your address. I might have it, but just on my Etsy shop, contact me so that, you know, I just make sure that I have it all right and everything. And I will send this right out to you after I fix that little doodad. So now we're going to go on to the color combo challenge. And yeah, I'll be right back. Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat. Today we are going to do the hashtag color combo 2023. If you are not familiar with this challenge, it is hosted by Tammy at Lou Frou Frou Studio, and there will be a link in the description box below this video, so you can pop over to her channel and find out more about it. It's a prompt challenge where she uses one color a month. This month it's green, for example, and then she pairs other colors with green, like, or blue, or whatever the month's color is, each week, so that you get two colors. That's why it's a color combo. And then you just use those two colors to make whatever you want, a painting, ephemera, if you want to do a collage book, or an art journal, or whatever it is that you like to work in or on, you can use that. You just need to use those two colors together each week. Okay, so this week, like I mentioned, it's green and cocoa brown. So I don't know that I have like a cocoa brown, but I'm going to be using my Distress Oxide Walnut Stain and Distress Oxide Gathered Twigs. And I have already kind of put, because I was playing around yesterday a little bit, with the inks and watercolor, because I'm, as y'all know, I'm kind of in a rut, and so I start doing watercolor stuff when I get like that. So anyway, and then I also have Forest Moss. The only thing I don't like about this is when it spreads out, it goes very yellow around the edges. And if I can find one of the pieces that I did yesterday, just to try it out, see how it gets real yellow. So I'll also be using some of my watercolor, my Arteza watercolors, to do this as well. And I also have my Distress Oxide. It's the same thing. It's just the like re-inker or whatever in the walnut stain, but it's kind of fun to use a bit of the darker, you know, it's more saturated words. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I taped this off to sort of like journal cards, and that's crooked, but I'm not that worried about it because I'm just trying to get a little color on them, and then we'll do something else with them afterwards. So really, this isn't like any big painting thing. It's just putting down some color. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm doing the Forest Moss first here, and I'm just going to kind of put it around on here. And like I said, I'll also be using other watercolor greens, just because like this one just gets real yellow as it oxidizes. So I don't really want that much water there. So how are you all doing today? I hope you're doing fantastic. I am having kind of crazy days, but it's okay. I don't know why, but I am. I think I mentioned that yesterday. So I'm just taking another green out of my Arteza watercolor. You can use whatever you had. The prompt is just green, so I don't think it even matters what color of green you choose. It's just green. I'm just trying to avoid the really yellow blobs that come out to the edge, because I just don't want the yellow. I want green. Imagine that. I think this Gathered Twigs to me looks very like maybe hot chocolatey or chocolatey. Maybe not like baking cocoa, because baking cocoa is pretty dark. But anyhow, this is what I'm going with. And then this is the walnut stain oxide in the from the refiller, the ink refiller. And I'm just putting like drops of it because it's super saturated, like I said. And I think I might just kind of put some of that over here. Okay, and then I'll let that one dry and we'll go on to the next one. And it's kind of a good idea to have two containers of water. I have this one, you can see is dirty. This one is clean. That way, if you do want to have clean water to add or whatever, you'll have it, if you see what I'm saying. So I'm going to use the walnut stain and do more whatever with it. And then we'll go some green again. And it doesn't matter, you know, you're just kind of slopping it on there somehow. There's no like real rhyme or reason. I mean, it's always a good idea to play a little bit, maybe before you make your final choices, just to check out your colors and whatever. And I like just putting these real dark drops of the walnut, because they look really neat once they dry, once they oxidize. And you can do them however you like. Okay, I like that. Get some more green here. Oops, I want to spray. I like to spray a little bit first. You don't have to. You can do it dry. It doesn't make any difference. Just kind of, I think, helps move the paint around a little bit. But you do it how you like to do it. I'm trying to brush off some of the water because these are pretty wet, these inks now. Air bubble. And then you can even do, you know, some splatters. And then they dry cool too. Different. Oh, I got it everywhere. But that's kind of the way it is when you have one sheet of paper that you're using. Let's put a little more. And I just have this piece of plastic, like I showed you at the beginning. That's what I'm using as a palette over here. But you can use anything. I mean, you can use, if you have a Tim Holtz, the glass mat, which I do, but I just don't like to use it that much in videos because it's got so much glare. But you can definitely use that, especially if you're not doing videos, right? See, I'm really liking this right here, that walnut stain. I don't know why that is so hard for me to remember what the heck that stuff's called. And then I'll do some green on this one. Take a little bit of this other green. Sorry, I get quiet when I do this. It takes all my concentration. I'm getting it everywhere but where I want it. Of course. Of course, of course. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit more of this because it's gotten spread out with water. Let's do this. Some clean water. I like the way watercolors move without you know, making them. Okay, I want more of this green, the forest, but I have kind of a big blob of water here. See how yellow it gets? It's crazy. I mean, not that I mind yellow, it's just, I you know, trying to get green. But that's the fun part of doing it this way, because you can go back and, you know, add whatever you want, wherever you want. And it's fun. How much water right there. I do have the tape, but this is just like cheapo masking tape that I've had around the house for a while. So you know how it kind of loses its stickiness? So I kind of want to try to make sure, I'm sure I'll get some seeping underneath, but I'm trying to avoid some of that if I can, because that's not a great look when you're wanting a border around it. Okay. Oh, I didn't even finish that one, did I? I got sidetracked with the sopping up water project. Sorry, that's a real ear ringer, isn't it? That one's really green. Got all the lawn service people out today. Wish we had a lawn service. Must be nice, right? Okay. I don't mind if I get some puddling, because that dries kind of cool, as long as it's not touching the edge, because like I said, I just don't want it to run under. If we can prevent that, that's great. See, this would be more of a cocoa color, in my opinion, if you're looking for, as far as like cocoa powder or something like that. I definitely think that Gathered Twigs has a definite chocolatey look to it, though, for sure. So yeah, you can just play around with these however much or little you like. kind of, when this Tim Holtz Distress Oxide, it's very fun to paint with, for sure, because of the way it oxidizes and does cool. I mean, that's partially the watercolor, but I think the reason it's blooming, or whatever you would call that kind of bleed, I think is because of the Distress Oxide. So it just makes neat effects. I don't know, I just really like what it does. It's super fun to paint with, I think. And that is thank you again to the Creative Cove. Thank you, thank you. Fantastic idea. That's where I saw it. I don't know if anybody else is doing it, but that's who I saw do it. So that's who I'm saying thanks to. Super great idea. I mean, we've all done, you know, stuff with water and dipping our papers into it and whatnot, but I just think this is a great, great idea to paint with it like watercolor. And if you don't have watercolor, but you have Distress Oxides, even better, right? Because then it gives you almost a watercolor outlet, and you didn't have to go buy more things. Just really wants a puddle of water right there. Like, it just really wants that. I don't like that straight line right there, so I'm just going to add some brown. Okay, I'm going to get these dry, and then I will come back to you once they're dry so that you can see what they look like dry, because it changes, believe me, it changes a lot. Maybe if I can stop playing around, right? All right, I will be right back. Okay, I'm back and it is dry, and I have left my tape. Oh, there's a little wet spot, but we'll just try to avoid that. Oh, and there's another one. I'm leaving my tape because I'm going to do some stamping, and then that way, hopefully I won't get a whole lot like on the border part. The border. Because mine are probably going to be a little wonky, but that's okay. So I'm going to use, I'm now using the Forest Moss Distress Oxide, and I'm just going to, these are just some little dots. And this is a old, really old Stampin' Up! Stamp. I think I decided these were from 2021 or something. I don't know. They're like the age of my daughter, basically. Not that she's old, but for stamps, they're old. need to rephrase that a little bit, because 21 is not old. Ah, I forgot that part was wet. So this is an awesome mass make, because you kind of want to, I mean, you could just cut yourself some squares of, because this is watercolor paper. I think I forgot to say that. I just figured you guys know. But anyway, some squares of watercolor paper, and then you can, you know, just paint one at a time or whatever, if you just wanted to do one for a project. But this is an awesome mass make deal here. Okay, so that looks good. Then I'm going to use my, let's use the walnut stain, just because it's a little darker. A little darker. And I think I want to use this crazy background thing. Whatever it is supposed to be. Lines and squiggles and scribblies that I got on Amazon. And I'm not caring whether I get a lot of it, a little of it, whatever. I just want that kind of scribbly look on there, because I like it. And I don't care if some gets on the white. In fact, I would probably like it if it did. Let's do it like this. Okay, so just some bits like that. And then I'm going to take and do some stamps in black. And this is all background. So you don't have to stress, like if you're like, oh, it didn't get there or whatever, it doesn't matter. This is just background. And these ones are Tim Holtz stamps. If you're wondering what in the world I have got. There we go. Lawnmower time. Wouldn't mind having one of these birds. A bird. Or a burb if you're a peto. That's our cat. I don't know why we talk to him like that, because like he knows, or he doesn't talk, but we always, it's my son and I. We're just goofballs like that. This is another one of those squiggly backgroundy things. Always making up, you know, voices and things, the cat says. And my daughter does it too. My husband just looks at us all like we're insane, but that's okay. I catch him being silly with that cat too, so that's what we do. What else? I don't think I want another one of those. I don't know why I put it back on there. Let's see. I know you can't see what I'm just using a black ink pad. It's nothing amazing. This one is a permanent one though, which probably isn't a bad idea if you're gonna do any more wet anything on there. You might want to use permanent inks. The Distress Oxides clearly are not. They're water soluble. That's why you can watercolor with them. So they wouldn't be a great choice if you're gonna paint again after. But if you're done painting, then it's fine. Orders attended to day or night. I'm just going to kind of, I don't know how I want it here. I'm going to kind of just do this because you're just going to probably see parts of it. And then I'm going to use some script, I think. And the garbage truck too. Wow, we got all the things today. All the things. Well, I guess it gives you something to listen to since I'm so quiet. Because I can't talk and do some of this stuff at the same time. Because that's just me. Okay, I think we're good there. So we're going to stop stamping, and if we decide we need something else, we'll add it after the fact. All right, my hands are all yuck now. So now what I'm going to do is take off my tape and pray that it isn't going to stick so much to my paper that it won't come off, because that's the other thing. It's either leaking under it or it's peeling your paper away. So yeah, those are your options. I mean, if you have a really good painter's tape, use it. This is just what I had. So that's what I used. See up there, it kind of took a little of the top of the paper, but what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And then we need to cut these apart. So I'm going to pause you again, and I'm going to cut them apart, and then I'll be back. Okay, I'm back, and I did round the corners. I just used the 4mm punch on this punch. I know they're all different, but anyhow, that's what I used. And then I'm going to use a 0.3 nibbed pigment liner. It's water resistant, so you want that because if for any reason you were to hit a wet spot or something, you don't want to mess it all up, right? So, like I said, rounded all the corners. I cut them pretty close. I didn't leave as big a border as they had, and they're all different sizes. So, like, if I go like this, they're close, but you can see some are bigger, some are smaller. That doesn't matter. So then I'm going to take my fine liner and I'm not trying to do straight because for one, I have shaky hands and that is never going to happen. So I'm just doing this, and I kind of like them to come out a little bit so they cross each other somewhere. Like that. And you could doodle other things on there too if you want to. Or, you know, you can just go with that. Then I'm also going to add, I got these are from TaylorMade Journals. They're little tea cards, and I did put them on my print to size app. So I made them a little bit smaller than what they're supposed to be because I just wanted them to be almost like a little, I don't know, add-on, not something that's taking up a lot of my background because I like my background. So I don't want to like cover the whole thing, but I do like to have something else on there. They do look really cool, I think, like that. You know, you could definitely just have that as a journal card and that would be super cool. But I, you know, can't ever leave it alone. So I'm going to add some of this somewhere. I'm not sure how I want this yet. It's always a try this, try that. And see what sticks. Kind of like that. So you can still kind of see some things through there, which I like. I'm still getting a lot of my color. I like that. You could add more if you want. You could add less. Just going to ink around this little doodad. And that doesn't need anything else. I think I might want just some little piece of paper, something. Because that's the way I am. Like just a little bit. As just another layer. Yeah, like that. That is what I wanted. Looking everywhere for the ink and it's right in front of me. Okay, and I'm just going to use my art glitter glue because it's right here and then I don't have to get something out to glue on and everything. This had silver on the back, but I didn't want the silver, so. Not using it. And you can have it come out, and even if it covers that, I don't care. And then this is tricky, I'm not going to lie. My daughter gave me this stuff, and I love it. It's very textural. I think she said she got it at Hobby Lobby. It's just tricky to glue down. That's the only dilemma. I can't decide which way I want it. Sorry. I think that way. It does have some of these little flat spots, which is nice. And if you have a fine tip, I mean, you can definitely get some glue on there. But I'm not going to lie, it takes a minute. So just know that going in. That's not a lot different than a lot of the stuff that we glue down, like doilies and little bits of whatever. You can just kind of get the tips too, and that works. Okay. Put it like this. Methinks. I'll definitely need a paper towel for that. Oh no, that is not what you want to do. Have it pick up with the paper towel. It's not good. Oh, that bird needs to kind of go under there, huh? Oh, look, he still can. Well, that's good. I didn't put any glue on those spots, obviously. Now, you might want to stitch around it or something just to make sure that little netting stuff stays, because clearly it wants to lift. Okay. So ta-da, there's one. I think this script is upside down, but it doesn't matter. So you could, you know, add more things, add splatters now if you want to. Do all kinds of things, whatever you want to do. So on this one, I'm going to do it a little different because obviously I don't want the same thing over and over. Although you could, because if you're going to use them all in different journals, it doesn't matter. Sorry, just digging through scraps, you know, like I do. Some music maybe, I don't know. Even one of those wouldn't be bad. That's a cut one, but it doesn't matter. Another little piece of that. And clearly I'm not using all of these on one piece. Just grabbing out some scraps. Okay, that's good. Just some little bits of stuff. Because that's what we like, all our stuff. Now, do I want... I don't want all of that. I need bigger scissors because I know I'll just make a hacked mess of that, so... And these are from my Etsy shop. Oh, I don't really want to cover up that, though, because I do like that. I don't want to cover up that either. Maybe we're not using this. I like that number, so I don't really want to cover it. Yeah, that's just not going to look right, so never mind on that. Thought it was good. This old piece of book page will definitely work, though, for sure. Okay, and then what else do I want on there? I mean, I definitely want one of these. I think I like that. The robin. I think it's because we got lots of robins around here. They've been jabbering and jabbering for days now. Just maybe a little piece. I just like the textural element of this stuff for these. It's like it just kind of needs that little bit of texture. I don't know. Okay, yeah, I like that. So yeah, you could just make a whole slew of these. You could do them all different too. Obviously, you don't have to do, you know, the birds on every one of them or whatever. But the colors were just really good for this particular challenge. But obviously, if you're doing other colors, you can do different colors of paint and distress oxides. There's a million colors of those. So the sky is the limit, as they say. This is kind of sparkly on both sides. Yeah, I think my daughter said she got this around Christmas or something like that at Hobby Lobby, like in the clearance, or I don't know, but she was like, it was just really cool, and she thought of me, so. Which is super sweet. Ah, well, that's not gonna stick. Let me get this. Okay, shaky hands and crafting are a little tricky, I'm gonna say. Okay, so there's that one. I think those are super fun. They turn out cute. Super fun, super fun. Okay, we'll do one more. Maybe we want something else on this one since it's already got a bird. Maybe don't need another bird. But maybe we'll use some music. That would work. What do we want if we don't use a bird? Butterfly. Could use like a Tim Holtz something. Like a mushroom maybe. Because that's always my favorite. Oh, this butterfly would be pretty. That might be good. This one. I like that one. Or we could do a flower. That would be a little bigger. I don't know. I kind of like that though. Maybe a stamp. I got these old ones from my friend Lorraine. Thanks, Lorraine. And they're old. Look at this bag. Could just use one of them. And please don't tell me I'm ruining them because I don't want to hear it. I ruin a lot of things, I guess, so that's just the way I am, apparently. It's called art. Okay. Let's get this glued. And I'll ink around the outside of these as well. You can also stitch around them. I don't think I'm going to, but you definitely could. I mean, of course, there are a million things you can do. It's more on the shorts where I have people that tell me I'm ruining stuff. And I think that's just because it's, you know, like you can just watch shorts and you get all different things from all different creators or whatever doing not just crafts is what I'm trying to say. And so I think there's a lot of people that don't really like crafts or don't really get it or whatever. And that's fine. I don't, on my videos, you guys are all awesome. So it's just sometimes on the shorts, I get that why'd you ruin it or whatever. It's like, oh, well, I didn't think I was ruining it, but thank you. All right. So there's that one. And I'll show you, I'll ink around this one just so you can see one inked. And if you don't like it ink, don't ink it. All right, so there is one, and of course you could just keep going and going and going until you made all of them. And then I'll show you the one I did yesterday that gave me the whole idea to begin with, because I had to, you know, try things out. And this is a Tracy Fox tea card. The other ones are from Tailor Made Journals. I'll cut that off in a minute. But look, see how the Distress Oxide? Yeah. Super fun. So definitely try painting with the Distress Oxides if you've got them, because they're very, very fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you again on Monday. Love you guys. Bye.